How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to tell you about some big news that was just announced literally a few minutes before I started this video and how it could really change crypto. With that in mind, I'm going to cover a lot of the big news for the day, some really cool things, some really bullish pieces of news. And while I'm saying that, just keep in mind, like a lot of people are getting worried because we see a lot of red in the market, but I'm not worried at all. I actually bought some here today, and I'll actually walk you through a couple of things that I bought recently. Now, with that in mind, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I appreciate that. Please hit the subscribe button too if you like videos like this. If you like knowing the latest news in crypto, definitely hit that button. I'm not going to wait 2 or 3 days to figure out a good time to film it or a good thumbnail or a clickable title or anything like that. I'm just going to bring you the news as quickly as I can. Now, with that in mind, too, if you guys want to start investing in cryptocurrency and you want to know what I'm doing, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. If you don't care what I'm doing, or even if you do, and you want to start investing, you can actually start over with BlockFi. So BlockFi just unveiled this. This is only for a few more days, actually, through November 7th. So like 3 more days. If you buy and trade $100 in crypto, you can earn an equal slice of 5 Bitcoin. So if 1,000 people do it, then it'll be a 5 Bitcoin divided by 1,000. If 1,000,000 people do it, it'll be 5 Bitcoin divided by 1,000,000. But still, free money, and you get a bonus when you sign up to $250. With that in mind, too, they just raised their rates up to 9% on all stablecoins, and then 9.5% on USDT. So that's even higher. With that in mind, too, just some cool news. They just partnered with this company the other day, Neuberger Berman, and now this $400 billion, or Neuberger Berman, this $400 billion asset manager is now talking about Bitcoin on their homepage. So that is pretty darn cool. Now, with that in mind, too, I want to hit on a couple things. Before we hit on the really bullish news, a couple things you have to be careful of because there are new scams out there. So first of all, we talked about this morning. Burger King is partnering with Robinhood to serve millions of people some free Bitcoin. Also, McDonald's is offering McRib NFTs. And I have a new scam to show you. So don't fall for this. On Discord today, I got this message basically saying, hey, you won. So they want me to go connect my wallet. Don't fall for this. If you connect your wallet to this kind of thing, they'll just take your money away from you. I'm surprised they reached out to me of all people, but hey, we all have to pay attention and be careful. Be careful. Don't let your money get taken from you. Another scam. I just got a friend that sent this to me. I'm not going to reach out to you on Instagram. This is not my Instagram, but I'm not going to reach out asking how your trading is going or anything like that. So be careful. With that in mind, Burger King and also McDonald's getting into crypto is huge. I covered this morning. But this is another YouTuber here. Onyx signs a contract to all of Barcelona Club's NFTs. And I didn't realize this morning that Onyx actually has a crypto itself. And this is crypto that you can buy these NFTs with. So just something interesting. I mean, like I said this morning, Barcelona is huge. They have like 38.5 million Twitter followers, which is just crazy. But let's talk about some of the massive news that's happened recently. We know all this has happened, right? An Australian bank yesterday announced that they're going to offer Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptos to some of their clients. And this is pretty interesting because it's like 1/4 of their population is going to be able to buy Bitcoin in the app. We know U.S. banks are offering it to their wealthy clients. We know Interactive Brokers, who's one of the biggest platforms out there, is going to offer it. So if you're a financial advisor, you can actually invest through them and buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and other stuff like that. Pension funds have been recently buying into Bitcoin and crypto. Also, countries like El Salvador are investing into crypto, buying crypto. But we have a new company here today that has $440 billion worth of assets under management, and they trimmed exposure to gold and bought more Bitcoin. So they did this last year and they're doing it again. So they're cutting down more gold and they're going to buy more Bitcoin. They're really on the cutting edge of this, honestly. Someone else that's on the cutting edge, the mayor of Miami. So Pomp said, who's going to be the first American politician to accept their salary in Bitcoin? And he said, I'm going to take the next paycheck 100% in Bitcoin. And you know who won up that? The new mayor of New York. In New York, we do things big. So I'm going to take my first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin when I become mayor. And he's like the first pro Bitcoin mayor in New York. That's going to be huge just because New York is one of the most cautious states about cryptocurrencies, and they're really stringent. Like they don't allow a lot of these companies to operate in New York, and that would be huge business. I mean, probably one of the biggest states for crypto investing. Now, Eric Adams, who just said that he was going to get 3 paychecks in Bitcoin, just got upped again. So we're going back to Mayor Francis Suarez, mayor of Miami, and he just came out and said, I'm taking 100% of my salary in Bitcoin. So he is one-upping Eric. So that's amazing, right? This is huge. A while ago, we were worried about the US banning Bitcoin, and now we have public officials making the US government pay them in Bitcoin instead of their own currency, instead the US dollar. I think this is going to become kind of like a political play, which is you're going to get a lot of different crypto investors and a lot of big money that will back you because of you taking your salary in Bitcoin and being pro-Bitcoin, pro-business in cryptocurrency. There's so much money. I mean, look at Binance, look at Polkadot, look at all these different projects that are unveiling 1 billion, 770 million development funds for their ecosystems. There's so much free money floating around in crypto right now because so many people made so much money in crypto, and there's so much possibility. So with that in mind, we're seeing red in the market. But let's not forget, just yesterday, we hit all-time highs for Ethereum. We hit all-time highs for Solana. We hit all-time highs for Polkadot. We're getting close to where we need to be for BNB. Sure, ADA is down, but Avalanche is at all-time highs. There's so many layer ones that are hitting all-time highs. It's actually super bullish. Now, Bitcoin, sure, it's sideways. It's been sideways for the last couple weeks, but when we see it sideways, I actually really like that. So going back here, we saw less and less on exchanges. Bitcoin's being taken off exchanges and it's still sideways. The price is still sideways. So this just sets us up for a supply shock in the future. Now we do have some leverage, so pay attention to that. I don't want to say this is a scam, but that's something that the whales will try to scam you out of your coins with. They want you to go on leverage, so that way they can drop the market and then send you to get liquidated, essentially. I mean, take a look at this. I just drew this out on a chart recently. Look at all these big drops. These are whales dropping, selling their Bitcoin just so that they can get people liquidated, and then they buy up again. Liquidation, they go up again. Liquidation, they go up. Liquidation, they go up. And it's really obvious. Like on Binance.us, the price fell down to $8,700 recently on Bitcoin. And that was obviously a shakeout. All these are shakeouts. So don't go on leverage right now because you could have 3 or 5x the amount of money you have right now in Bitcoin in a couple months or a couple years. But if you go and do 5x leverage or 10x leverage, you could lose out on most of your crypto. Now, there's some other big news from around the space, and we do have to get to maybe where we could see these different prices going for altcoins and for Bitcoin here in a second. We have some price predictions from some top analysts, but this is pretty big news. NFTs and play to earns are future of gaming industry, says EA boss. So major video game publisher EA sees NFTs and blockchain-based games as the future of the industry. This is huge, coming from probably one of the biggest game makers out there, really saying, hey, NFTs and play-to-earn games are the industry's future. That makes me think they're definitely going to try to get in on this. And EA might have their sights on blockchain and NFTs. A job posting from the summer revealed this. So we have so many of these big companies that are hiring for NFT or for blockchain positions. It's amazing. I mean, all the big tech companies are doing that too. So I think we'll probably get some big announcements soon. Now, if you want to know the top 10 cryptos to buy in November, I talked about this in a video just a few days ago, and I'll link to that on the end screen. One other one that's super interesting is VeChain. I talked about that this morning, and they do have a big event here in 5 days. So I'll link to that one on the end screen too. I check out one of those. And then some other big news, Kevin Durant's new SPAC firm to focus on crypto and blockchain. So he was actually a really early investor in Coinbase. He made a ton of money on Coinbase. I think he had like 100x on his investment. But now they're going to try to have a SPAC that's going to invest in the crypto and blockchain related businesses. So really interesting. I mean, this is huge when we see all these athletes coming out and taking salaries in crypto or putting more money into crypto and crypto companies. Now, where could we see Bitcoin? I mean, we have different predictions from 146,000 from JP Morgan, like this year or early next year, to ARK Invest saying 500,000, to other companies and other analysts saying, hey, we could see a $20 million Bitcoin in a few years. So where are we going to go? Well, this is the altcoin charts. We'll get to Bitcoin here in a second, but this is TechDev, probably one of the most well-known analysts in all of Twitter. And he says, hey, we are right here. We're at $1.5 trillion market cap, maybe 1.6 now for altcoins. And if we see this RSI peak like we did last time in 2017, we could see a $6 to $7 trillion market cap. So like a 4 to 5x from here. Now, why am I so bullish right now? Well, a lot of the different cryptos right now have been trading sideways. I mean, of course, the layer ones have been going up, but there's still cryptos like VeChain, also just Bitcoin itself, the industry leader, that have been kind of sideways recently. We've seen that over the last couple of weeks. This is the weekly chart here, and the RSI has been cooling down. I mean, if we saw this go up and to the right, we would see the RSI blow off, but as we have more and more time, right around the $60,000 to $65,000 mark, we see the RSI come down, which is really good for the long term because that just shows that we're not going to have a blow off top and we might not need to take profits and be worried about an 80% drop, a 90% drop. Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but you can see how this worked out last time, right? We peaked at around 94 RSI, fell back down into the 70s. We saw a drop from, was that 41,000 down to 29,000, and then we saw it take off. Are we going to see the same thing here where we just kind of float around here and then we take off? Maybe. Now, of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but I did buy some cryptos here today. So I bought Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin itself, and I also bought MicroStrategy, or GBTC, sorry. I have bought MicroStrategy before, but I did buy GBTC here today. I think the longer we trade sideways, the more bullish I am, especially if it's just like a few weeks, because I think there's so much money that's getting ready to flow into Bitcoin, and there's just not enough supply. We see the supply coming off the exchanges. There's not enough to go around. Also, I did not buy Ethereum, but I really want to. It is near all-time highs. So instead, I bought some VeChain. I talked about in the video this morning that VeChain is looking really bullish. I mean, we're still only at half the price, and they are coming out with the DEX and an AMM here in the next week, which will cause them to have kind of a supply shock, in my opinion. And they're still down a lot, like I said, about 40 to 50% from their highs when all these other layer ones are at all-time highs. And then I also bought some more Decentraland. We're seeing it around $2.50. I'm going to dollar cost average into this. I started buying at 92 cents. I'm going to keep on buying if it stays around this level. I think it's a good long-term play to get into this crypto gaming. Now, of course, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button and the subscribe button, I really do appreciate that. Don't be faked out. Don't lose your crypto to something stupid like sending someone the keys to your wallet or anything like that. Don't get scammed by a Burger King scam. Don't be shaken out by the whales. Just stay on this path and you will probably make a ton of money over the coming years. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Check out those videos here on the end screen, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.